And welcome to Car Court, where all cars are bad until proven good. I'm here with Chris, and today's defendant is the 2021 GMC Canyon, not to be confused with the 2021 Chevy Colorado.
Or to be confused with the 2005 Chevrolet Colorado.
A little bit about this truck. GM's mid-size truck, the Colorado and the Canyon, both very similar, coming in all sorts of different engine options, bed lengths, cab configurations, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, you name it, you can probably get it with a Canyon. This trim is the new AT4 Performance trim, so you're getting some off-road goodies, some all-terrain tires, kind of splitting the difference a little bit for someone who wants a Canyon over a Colorado, but also kind of wants some of that off-road goodness, doesn't want to get a ZR2. So, what do you think, Chris? Is this a good car?
No, it's not. And if you want to pretend you're living in the past, this is the perfect truck for you. As I shall show you. Should I jump down from here?
You didn't even use the handy-dandy step that GM so thoughtfully includes.
Well, that would have just been a hassle to get down. It's good for getting up, but not for getting down.
I'm glad you were telling the audience what's good for getting up.
Yes. So, first of all, if you want to step into this, you're a bit short. You kind of can't because it has bars instead of side steps for some reason, and every time you get out of it, you're going to get your pants all muddy. Stepping into the interior of the Colorado, we can see that a lot of things are very outdated, such as this shifter. It's just a kind of hideous black material, and it reminds me of something that you'd see in a car that's about 15 years old. Also, a reminder of how old it is, they've used a Nokia as the icon for the wireless charger, and if you have a phone that's larger than a Nokia, it is very hard to fit it into that slot. Additionally, all of the materials in here are really just not that great. Everything looks cheap, everything's matte. The headliner is a disgusting shade of beige, and you have no choice but to look at it because you cannot option this vehicle with a moonroof. Also, the rear window is manual and not power, so if you want to adjust that, you have to go like this and move it back that way, which is not good if you have legs.
Chris, you're completely ignoring the best part about the Canyon, than that it is a truck. People who are buying this, they want the truck experience. There are all sorts of different cars on the market. There are hybrids, there are convertibles, there are sedans, there are SUVs, and then there's what America does best, the pickup truck. And this manages to take the size of what full-size pickup trucks were 20 years ago and keep it from ballooning into the absurd full-size trucks that we have on the market today, and gives you the real truck experience. You're not screwing around with turbocharged engines, you're not screwing around with hybridization, you're not screwing around with little tiny unibody trucks like the Ridgeline or that new Santa Cruz. This is a tried and true truck vehicle. It provides the truck ownership experience, it provides truck capabilities, and it provides a truck driving experience. And that's what people buying this type of vehicle want. Let's do a little bit of a walk around here. Starting right in the front, big, aggressive, look at me, nicely refreshed recently looks, strong character lines, big, meaty, knobby all-terrain tires that are remarkably capable. We put this thing through some serious mud work and it handled it excellently. Not only that, but even better than the ZR2, with the AT4 Performance Off-Road Edition, no more front air dam. So there is no complaint anymore that this isn't a truly capable off-road style truck. Chris, you complained about these side rails, but they're not stupid chrome, look at me, oh, I need help getting in and out of my truck. These are truly functional, hardcore sliders. If you come up onto a rock that you're trying to crest, this is gonna help protect the vehicle. These are functional.
If it was chrome, would it not get your legs dirty?
No, it would still get your legs dirty, but you just, you know, a truck like this isn't made to baby you. This is a truck owned by people who don't need a proximity key. They like to feel the tactile experience of putting the key in the ignition, turning it, listening to their naturally aspirated engine roar up.
Let me see this. I can understand the key part to an extent, but why is it separate from the fob? That's just, when you have it in the ignition, this is all you hear the whole time. It jangles around, it's irritating, and if you're gonna have a key, at least have it like this. Have it attached to the fob and you can stick it in there and you have your key. When you're going over off-road rocks and everything, do you wanna listen to a fob jangling around on the steering column?
Chris, those are journalist complaints. The people who buy this truck are real owners. They genuinely have real things they need to do. They don't drive a car for a few days, type up some complaints, and then move on to the next vehicle.
I suppose all they've ever driven is General Motors.
The people who own this truck want real things that come in and are actually handy, like this step, for example. None of the stupid, look at me, ooh, the tailgate splits in half. No, they are actually getting up into their truck, they're grabbing things in and out, they're doing work, they're doing activities, and this truck, nicely priced, $46,000, actually allows you to do truck things and doesn't just give you a bunch of BS that you don't need. Not only that, but choices. That's what this truck gives you. You can get not only this excellent V6 naturally aspirated motor, you don't have to worry about turbo seals, you don't have to worry about any that Ford EcoBoost garbage. You get a good old V6, or if you don't want that, get yourself a 4-cylinder, save a little bit more gas. Or if you don't want either of those, diesel engine. It's the only truck in its class with the diesel motor, and quite a decent diesel motor on that.
I think I'd rather have a Ford Ranger with the 2.3 EcoBoost though.
Well, you know, have fun being at the dealer then, because this is the truck for people who actually want to use their truck for truck things, don't want to have to worry about EcoBoost motors blowing head gaskets.
Talk about having a large amount of powertrain choices. This must just be the worst choice because it is terrible. The V6 is extremely lethargic until you're at like 5,000 RPM. You have to really wind it out to feel that power. And the 8-speed's hideous. It searches around for gears way too much. It never knows what it wants. 8th gear is all wrong.
If you don't like this engine, you get a diesel. You get the diesel and you have torque for days. Then you never have to worry about it. I'll concede to you that this truck is a little bit old, but the reason it is old is because GM was the first of the American brands to realize there was a lacking in the market for the mid-sized truck buyer. It was a complete abandonment for those buyers, and they brought this truck back way sooner than the Ranger. If you want to talk about ancient cars, Ford just took the Ranger from the other market that they had already been making for nearly a decade, did nothing to it, and plopped it here on American soil and said, here, you want a mid-sized truck?
But most Americans don't know that. Have they not had time? Or have they been busy doing other things to have time to refresh this truck?
So you'd rather that the buyers just have the sheet pulled over their eyes and not know. At least GM was honest in that they completely came out with a fresh new Colorado with new powertrain options, good 10-speed transmission, and made it a truck. I mean, you don't have to change anything because it's good. It's a good formula. It works. Not only that, but you come on in here to the interior. You loved complaining about things.
You're going to show them the fake carbon fiber?
The GM managed to balance things that buyers like and leave out things buyers don't need. Good old shifter. If you got gloves on, you grab it, you put it into drive. No drive modes. You know what your drive modes are? D and L.
Prindle. It
is a true American Prindle. And if you want to be a little fancy, if you want to feel good that you paid for the AT4 Performance Series, you get these this nice brown cross stitching, these cool AT4 logos in the seats, just enough to separate you from the other guys down at the job site who didn't pay for the AT4 Performance Off-Road.
And a manual rear window.
Well, some people harken back to the olden days.
Yeah, black door handles. That's fancy.
So what do you all think? Am I right? Does this truck harken to all those good pickup truck sensibilities that people want? Or is Chris right and it's just an old truck and you can better spend your money elsewhere in the mid-size segment? Let us know in the comments and be sure to vote. Link will be in the description and in the top comment. Vote whether this AT4 is a good truck or not. And be sure to tune in to the next episode of Car Court. We'll tell you the results and see what else we've got to argue about. We're Charlie and Chris from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.